Good morning, everybody. It's Miss Betty, and I am getting ready to cook on Farm Ridge. I am already in full holiday mode. So today I am going to make some candied yams. And here I have my sweet potatoes or yams, whichever one that you prefer. Yams are cheaper. Sweet potatoes are more because they have a different texture. And so I'm going to make enough to serve 4 to 5 people. So here I have one, two, three, four, five. I have like 6 medium-sized potatoes. I have my sugar, and I'm going to use more than 1 cup of sugar, and I'll show you when I begin to start the process. But I wanted you to see this cute little measuring cup that my friend gifted me with, and she bought me all these wonderful little measuring cup for Thanksgiving. And I'm so happy. That's nice. People don't have to be nice to you. Remember that. I'm also going to add some vanilla flavor, and I'm going to use some ground nutmeg. Some people like to add cinnamon. That is your preference. So you choose the kind that you like. Remember, I tell you all the time that cooking is a preference. So what it is, whatever that you prefer. I'm also going to add a stick of butter. But first, let me go ahead and get these potatoes peeled and washed and cut up. And I'll come back and I'll show you how Miss Betty do it. Yes, some people boil them first. Yes, some people put them in the oven first. But I'm that old-fashioned gal. And I simply take my knife and I peel them. And I will put them in some cold water with some lemon juice so that they will not turn brown. I'll come back and I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. But remember, I always say make sure that you start with an impeccably clean kitchen and sink area. I use the Lysol all-purpose kitchen cleaner, but you use the one that you like. Just make sure that your kitchen is clean when you begin. All right, I'll be back. I am going to show you the simplest and the most easiest way it is to do candied yams. It's very elementary and anybody can do it. So the purpose of my videos is to teach you how to cook. Not those that already know how to cook, but those that are trying to learn. So I wanted to show you that I did peel my sweet potatoes. I have not peeled them as of yet, but you want to make sure that you put them in cold water. I add lemon juice, and I'm going to turn it around because I'm not advertising for this company. But I add lemon juice to my water. That keeps my sweet potatoes from getting the brown spots. I'm going to put it in a 1/2 aluminum pan because I have some beautiful casserole dishes. But you know, we live in a cook and toss world today. So that means we put it in something that we can just throw away later and we do not have to wash. Plus, guess what? They're not for me. So I'm going to cut my sweet potatoes up and put them in my pan, and I'll be right back to show you how I season them. It's 4, maybe 4 or 5 little easy steps, but I guarantee you that you will be able to put yams on your table this Thanksgiving. All right, I have my sweet potatoes cut, and I did do circular motions for my sweet potatoes. You can put them in any shape you want. Some people do them oblong. Some people do little bitty circles or big circles. I usually try to count by the amount of guests that I'm having, and I'll go by this thickness. Like maybe you need 2 for each serving. Okay. So once my sweet potatoes are cut up and in the pan, they're ready to go. I'll add my sugar. Here I have 1 cup of sugar, and I just sprinkle it on the yams. You want to hurry up and get that sugar on those yams because you don't want those yams to turn brown. I'm going to add another cup of sugar. That will make 2. Do that sound like a lot of sugar? Yes, it does. And I told my girlfriend that taught me how to make yams years ago, I was like, that's a lot of sugar. She says, Betty, when you think it's too much sugar, add more. And I'm here to tell you that she was absolutely right, because if you want your sweet potatoes to be sweet and you want them to be candied, then you want them to have enough sugar. I'm also going to add some ground nutmeg. If you want to use cinnamon and nutmeg, you can. If you don't like nutmeg and you just want to use cinnamon, you can. Because remember, cooking is a preference. Remember, I'm not going to measure because I am that cook, so I do not need to measure. But you can follow my measurements, which I call sprinkle sprinkle. So I'm going to go, one sprinkle means one shake, two means two shake, three. So I'm going to do sprinkle sprinkle on here. Well, maybe that was a little bit more. That was like probably 6. And I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla flavor. And I just use my cap for my measuring. So I'm going to put 2 caps. Yep, we're going to put some over here, some over here, some over here. And just a little bit more. Okay. That's it. That's it. And then the final step is you just cut up some butter and put it on top of your sweet potatoes. I use real butter because it gives it that extra flavor that, you know, that we like. I take my butter. Now, sometimes I take my sweet potatoes and I cook them in a pot on top of the stove. I really love that effect. But I'm going to teach you today to put them in the oven. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put butter all over the sweet potatoes. You don't have to melt it, not melt it. You don't have to melt it. You can just go ahead and just put it on top of your sweet potato, because I guarantee you when you put it in the oven, it's going to melt. So, remember I told you this recipe is so easy and so simple. You just have your sweet potatoes, you have your sugar, and you have butter, nutmeg, and some vanilla flavor. I just use imitation butter flavor. It doesn't have to be real. So, that's it. You put these in the oven. I'll come back. I'll show you what they look like. And you can put this on your table for Thanksgiving. I promise you, you can do that. This is Miss Betty, and I am cooking on Fawn Ridge. Make sure you cover it with aluminum foil. When it's done, or almost done, you take the foil off and let it get a real pretty golden brown. I will put it in the oven on 375. I took these out so that I can show you that you do not have to add liquid to your yams or your sweet potatoes, because the sugar is going to add its own juice. So these are at the halfway point. I just wanted to let you see what they look like. I'm going to put the foil back on them because they are not done. And maybe in about another 30 minutes, we'll go ahead and we'll let these babies brown. Okay? Just want to make sure that I show you every single step so that your dish will not fail. Oh my, it's been a busy day on Fawn Ridge today, but we have cooked these yams and they are ready to go. Let me give you a good look at them. I left them just a little slight brown, not as golden as I would like because they are going to need to be warmed up. I did fix those for somebody else. I did do them for tutorial purposes only. So, today you are looking at yams by Miss Betty, and I have been cooking on Fawn Ridge. You make it a great day. It's been fun cooking today. I've been busy. So, if you run into trouble, you call me, and I will give you the tip that you need. Remember to go about your day and be a blessing to somebody. Replace negative with positive. This is Miss Betty. You have a great day.